peeps? How's it going? Happy Saturday. Got a very cloudy waning gibbous moon, 93%. Can't believe how much it's been raining. But I feel like I might have, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour of clear skies, or mostly clear. So we shall see. I've been trying to get live for a couple of nights. Hope everybody's doing fine. What's up, Danielle? What's up, Starlight? What's up, Chow Young Cat? What's up, Light Moon? What up, Guitar Lots? And eat all your fish. New little jam for y'all. It's the race to space. There's a couple new tracks, stuff from today actually and yesterday. So just little demos. That's why they loop back around, but I'm pretty stoked to work on them. That's called Tempo Switcher, and the other one was called Race to Space. What's up, everybody just joining? What's up, Bom Dia? What's up, Ellie Wynn? How are ya? Hope you've been having a nice weekend. What up, Shockwave? How you doing? Getting ready for bed, saw your post pop up. Hell yeah. Let's just chill a little bit. Starlight Spectrum, for now when I want to put up a track, I gotta throw it up on Bandcamp. Getting it on iTunes and Spotify takes a bit of a process. So eventually I'll have that, but for now it's, yeah, you can download it individually or as part of a set on the Bandcamp link. I haven't checked any space news at all or anything. I've been so kind of deep in work because, man, I think this is the first full moon I've missed in like a year or more this past couple of days. And then last night even I set up, or last 2 nights I've set up post the full moon and still not getting a glimpse of it. So finally, I had it ready tonight and just went on. What's going on, Duplicate? A moon's out, cat's out, let's get frisky. What's up, Michigan Woodland Warrior? Shazam, had no clue of the last 2 songs. These are just fresh. They're not even a day old. I'll play them one more time for y'all. This one is called Race to Space, and I'm still, like, literally just at it. But I've been trying to capture this ELO time vibe, if y'all know that album. Simple drones, just vibes. Yeah, it just goes back around. I want to do something like... Just making up some stuff right here. This is how I would write the lyrics. I'm something really good, you know I got it. Right now, I'm in front of you. Holding up these, holding up eyes. If my eyes are from you, drifting up here, drifting up there. Space in love affair we can't find. Yeah, something like that. I'll probably record that later. Let's do something else. What else? I had something. Yeah, this is pretty new too. It's only like 1 minute long. Actually, yeah, just let me talk to y'all for a second before I put this one. Because I have to, yeah, I don't talk over the lyrics. Alright, anyway, just seeing the chat. It says 2020 is going to be insane. I'm calling it now. If you're talking about the election cycle, probably going to be a repeat of the last 5 election cycles. Just people have nothing to do with it, and a bunch of candidates that really don't make sense for the rest of us. Pretty common at this point. What's up, 24/7 Live Arizona Skies? Eat All Your First says, Dancy, synth, chill, wavy, very cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. But Buried Axe Blade says, my dog is waiting for me to go potty so he can fish. Oil pill? Oh my god, that sounds gross. But I understand. Dogs are cute. My friends' dogs are cute. Shockwave lecturing me about singing. That's how I write. That's what happens when I get a little tired. I kind of mumble. But, you know, I've done a lot of different types of songs where I do shout and scream and sing, and I'm powerful. So right now I'll probably say something weird, and so anyway. Turn down your speakers, kids, if he lets it rip. Yeah, I don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums or get weird on y'all. It's gonna be chill. 2020 is gonna be critical mass, I think. I don't know. I know what I was going to talk about on the full moon night, which was Ben Davidson's documentary about how the world is going to end and how we should all be prepared for that. And it's funny that I actually put myself, that I actually took the time to kind of indulge in those types of videos. I typically don't watch an hour of, you know, there's going to be a solar storm or a micronova that's going to wipe out humanity, and these are the kind of this is what's going to happen type scenarios. I don't think that he's like really fear-mongering, but you know, doomsday talk is just one of those things that's like either bring it on or let's talk about something else. However, I was thinking that it is one of these things where people do think about this all the time, and from that kind of point of watching that documentary and the full moon, like the whole night I literally didn't get a peek at all, and it was a bit of a bummer, but I listened to Alan Watts for 3 days straight since, and really this idea that it's really just about how you see things and how it's not about changing things, really it's just about how you dance in this lifetime and achieve each moment. And it's very balancing after all that crap. And there's just a ton of crappy news and people are on edge. So I feel like there's a bit of catharsis in space, and I'm happy to bring it tonight. But yeah, I mean, I do recommend if you're into that sort of stuff, or you do want to find out what really is like the cyclical nature of solar catastrophism, then go check out that video on Suspicious Observers. And I think he did a really great job on it, even though it is very kind of terrifying. But at the same time, I feel like there's this teaching that says if you really understand the universe, then you can die at night. If you have one moment of realization that you are one with the universe, then every moment after that you'd be perfectly fine shuffling off this coil. So try and live in that mindset as much as I can. Michigan Woodland says silly CMEs and tiny novas. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you know, there is this other idea where things are not necessarily linear. So this idea that things are 12,000 years every time also kind of has some, not issues, but I think, you know, there are definitely variances, because you could have something where it's either less time or more time. We're not sure if like we're at the crest of the wave or the, you know, the cycle of the Kali Yuga or the Golden Age. People just speculate that, but and interpret it in a lot of different ways, but we're not really sure at what point of this 12,000 year cycle we really are at. And again, the sine wave or the wave that we're on could be not just a perfectly symmetrical sine or linear wave. It could be a distorted wave. It could be a wave that's intersecting other waves. And so I feel like, yeah, you can be certain, or it could happen in a couple of generations, or it might not happen at all, or it might happen in the blink of an eye and nobody really can tell. It could also happen and people's consciousness changes, or it changes future children, the next generation's DNA gets zapped somehow, and they're survivors that evolve into, you know, superhumans. So a lot of different scenarios there. I kind of wish they would take a little bit of these post-apocalyptic scenarios and see what, you know, what is really possible for survivors, and or like, would you really want to survive on an Earth like that? I guess, I don't think, you know, we'll see if that question ever arrives. What's up, somebody somewhere? Grail water filter, GeoPress water filter. Bondia says, we are one. It is true. Eat All Your Fish says, that's a theory that 2019 is really 2012 and the Gregorian calendar was intentionally altered by 7 years, just something I read 7 years ago. Well, I kind of got off that whole like predictory, these are the dates of destruction, because after, I don't know, September 23rd of 2015 happened, 2012 happened, Y2K happened. I lived through that, and there was the same type of fear-mongering and fear porn about 2012. And so I kind of feel like potentially it's just misinterpretive texts, and especially these dates, you know, that we feel are so, that need to be, you know, that kind of provide the proof for this. These dates are pretty arbitrary. I mean, we really live in a secular society, and a lot of people of different faiths and beliefs, and somehow we're living past, you know, a prophet or an imaginary prophet's namesake 2,000 years after he was born or died, or it's so convoluted. I'm sure I'm misinterpreting it myself, but I feel like it's important to see right now this beautiful moon and listen to the music and try and stick with the momentary enjoyment and pain of life. Starlight Spectrum says, if 2019 is actually 2012, then what is reality? Nelson Mandela. Michigan says, they are talking magnetic pole shift happening right now. So right, I know there is definitely, I guess, so-called proof, because the magnetic pole is moving at a faster and faster clip right now. But, you know, I don't know, will it, you know, completely, as when the magnetic poles reverse, will there be a lapse in our magnetic field? You know, they say there is, but maybe this time it's weaker or more powerful, or maybe our magnetic field is different, or we're in a different part of space. There are a lot of things that I was thinking about during watching that, while I was watching it, thinking that, you know, we do have some understanding, but we really don't have a lot of understanding. You look at laboratory simulations of this type of Earth in a plasma ether, and there are not very many of it, many resources to look at, or fundamental discussions to even reference. And you see what Ben Davidson is up against, these teachers writing to him about, you know, poking holes in this discussion instead of really trying to posit, you know, like what's going on and how people feel about science. It's really just this kind of provocation and bullying, and I don't know, there are a lot of just the incorrect type of feelings about science, because ultimately science is now kind of dogmatic and religious, but science should really be about being open to things, being open to new ideas, being able to be wrong, being able to problem solve with others. There's something terribly wrong with popular science. What's going on? Reptilian Research Redux says, 46, I'm 46, I have heard people saying the world is going to end on some day of doom this whole time. This date comes and goes, and big surprise, we're still here. I feel the same way. I'm almost 40, and it's the same for me ever since I was a kid. It's like always going to end. And then you read historical documents, and they say it was always going to end. And in fact, like actually referencing Alan Watts from the last couple of nights, there's this part of one of his talks which I really love, if I'm going to try and paraphrase it, where he says, I'm just going to regurgitate it, but I love it. He says that we feel like, are we going to make it? You know, with the whole nuclear Cold War. I mean, he was talking about the same shit we're talking about today, in like the late 60s. And he was saying, are we going to make it? He said, every creature, from the tiniest microbe to planets and stars, are all feeling the same way. They all feel like, are we going to make it? And then he says, and the answer is, no, you're not going to make it. Because, and then he laughs, of course, but the truth is you're not going to make it, because we all die, and this is the nature of the universe. And it's pretty wonderful to kind of just give in to that, as opposed to constantly feel like we're struggling to somehow stay here because we're attached to the material. And it's not like it's so easy to say that and then act upon it, but it's easier to think about than it is to think, oh, this torture, we're going to feel darkness and to never exist, to cease to exist. But then it's the same thing. If it could happen once where you didn't exist and then you somehow existed, then it can happen, you can have hope for the fact that death is not the end of things. So I think I love the way he thinks about that. And yeah, we're definitely not going to make it. I love it. He says we get to be around for a little while. But ultimately, none of us make it. Stars explode and Earths collide and planets, merge, and everything just goes to rot, to dust. And it's kind of beautiful, actually. So, what else is happening in this chat? I feel like I gotta zoom in a bit more. Maybe I'm losing my eyesight. Just frying my eyes with the microwaves. Okay. Michigan says, hopefully the Earth doesn't stop and the oceans keep moving. Hopefully. Eat All Your Fish says, I don't think there's an end, just some kind of big shift. Well, no matter what that shift is, it's an end for some and a continuation for others, right? It seems like that's the case. Unless this is all within a certain, the understanding that we have of being inside a mind. What if I don't know. It's hard to judge what really happens, but I feel like there's some sort of retention of consciousness to some degree, and then energy is kept. So consciousness must be kept in some form once you die. Eat All Your Fish says the mind flayer is coming. Stranger Things, anyone? I don't know. I feel like I've lived through. I feel like this idea of how our parents didn't have the internet. Actually, we didn't have the internet either. But growing through generations of technology is a very interesting concept to me. And the fact that the same thing, there's always a doomsday, there's always a new technology around the corner that's going to take over our lives. Now it's artificial intelligence, and before that it was cell phones, and before that it was computers, and it does take over our lives. The thing is, it's not a lie, but it also kind of is the variance and the so-called evolution of mankind is these technologies and these morphology in a way, I feel. And these also could, coincide with electric events in space that push consciousness forward by leaps and bounds, by either, I don't know, zapping Earth's electrical charge into a certain type of frequency that allows DNA to act a certain way. It gets very complicated, but it's actually become very physical with electricity. And I don't know, how is the moon affecting us right now? Is it affecting me more because I'm looking at it directly, or I have like 6 screens up that have the moon? Or are you guys getting the data from the moon? Is that affecting you magnetically, on top of it being outside? So there's this fascination between, how we as humans, the body, connect with everything outside of us, or whether that's inside of us. Think I'm going too deep, too early? I certainly am. Let's get some tunes. This one is the Don't Let Go track that I feel like I want to work on some more. And the moon got clear all of a sudden. It's great. Terminator is right across Chrysium, and it's been slowly waning. Actually, it's still almost 93.7% right now. What else can I do? I put a light out for you. What else can I do? I give my life out for you. What else can I do? I put my heart out for you. What else can I do? Yeah, that's a little demo working on. What's up, Kimberly Schick? How's it going? Hello, funny meeting you guys here. Alright, I'm gonna take a little break, walk around. This is Island Dream up on the Bandcamp page for y'all. Look at that beautiful moon. Get some zooms in tonight as well. And the swelter comes back. All right. Oh, whoa. Sorry about that. It's not as bad as feedback, but that was loud, even for me. So I realized I got my guitar next to me, and I haven't played for some of y'all, and I haven't played for my old folks in a while. So maybe just jam a little bit while it's clear, and it's kind of floating right next to some clouds, so we shall see. Let's see. What up, Corey? How's it going? What's up, Miguel? How's it going with you, man? All right, let's see. Where's my guitar sound? Yo, what's going on? No El Malky, and what's up, Jax from Mortal Kombat? Some tunes for you and the moon. Play some tunes for you and the moon. Play some tunes for you and the moon. Play my heart out, heart out. You and your loves cuddle up tonight, tonight. That's all we got right now. So huddle up beside your magnetic screen, scream, make me light, take you off before you dream. So live along. Sit along with me. Sing a song for you, you and the moon. Sing a song. I'll play it all for you. I'll sing a song that nobody can hear but you. Sing a song 'cause you're near. Sing a song, play my heart, I bet you would. Sing along if you knew what I was about to say. I knew someday we'd find some hope, we'd find some hope. Didn't know we'd be on a live stream, on a live stream, on the live breezy. Tonight we dream of the rabbit across the moon, and your heart is up too soon. Sing along, so creatures know what you yeah, all I got is, all I got is, all I got is, all that got is particles of you. All that God is, all I got is, all that God is particles of you. What's up, Dagger Skulls? How's it going, everybody? I know you're anybody. I know we're everybody at once. At once, at once, at once. Yeah, everybody all at once. And you and you're me. You're even that old tree we used to sit upon when we didn't know much more. Didn't know much more. It's a mushroom stamp. I want to get some zooms. I can zoom in. It is very cloudy, so the wide shot is nice, but if you'd like to see, let's change it up a little bit. Check out Maricrisium and Proclus in View at the edge of Sea of Serenity. At the edge you find electric structures lullaby. And at the edge you find so much geometry, so integral to the theory. I find it's reasonable and question everything. To question so much dissonance and harmony. Sometimes you get lost in the mission. Sometimes you get lost into the mission. Sometimes you get lost, Looks like clouds behind the moon. It looks like clouds behind the moon. See, it's a bit. Yeah, it's definitely a bit foggy. It's a bit froggy. Here, let's go wider so you can see. As soon as it clears up again, I'll get deeper on the edge. The heart appears, yeah, I tell you. I wander through this dream, fly away from a sinking body. I got dragged onto this place, back from time and space. I was in line for another party. And mother done came along. She picked me out and said I was doing. She said she's got nowhere to hide, and nothing sounds good to me. I'm staying with the dream, I'll make believe. In the light of the moon come down. And mama, oh, don't make them come round. And the depth of your frequency star. Your heart, oh, don't make me come round. And the depth of your frequency star. Oh yeah. Just welcome to the greatest show on earth. It was your lively intervention favorite since birth, the longest chain in my impression. And if you speculate the worth of a lifetime in search of good intentions, find out what to do. If you don't, then you're screwed. You'll burn in search of the truth and change the key. Yeah. I got out of tune somehow. Let me tune this baby up. I try not to play cover songs anymore, Shockwave. The videos get taken down very often, or like, yeah, it's just not one of those things I do much more, especially Rush or like the big bands. Just making up some tunes tonight, trying to be fresh. This is actually an old one, but earlier. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Let's switch up the tone here. What about... that you would tell me what you know, and I wish that you could be with me. I wish that you would tell me, wish you would tell me what you know, what you know. Wish that you would tell me, wish that you would tell me what you know. Lay it all around, we're not gonna make it, so you're today, not enough, caught up to you, not gonna. But if we try, I know we can make it. I know we can make it through the night. At least for the next few minutes, at least for the next few seconds. Somehow I'm still alive. I'm still and I'll go on, and just a hit of love and I'll feel right. Just another song and I'll go on, laughing till the mornings come along. Just a hit of love and I'll go home. Smoke of that and I'll feel right, so just another song and I'll go home, laugh until my feet have fallen off. So I'm still alive, still alive, still alive. To go back to the moon and take real photos before the end of the world. I'm making it up. That sounds like the last song. Alright, little smoke break, y'all. I'm gonna try and go as long as I can here. See, the moon comes and goes. Weird clouds, but Starlight Spectrum says we need to go back to the moon and take real photos before the end of the world. That's all I know. I like that. I feel that. Somebody somewhere says, I hear some of that policy is getting changed, hopefully for the better. I'd like to hear covers. Yeah, me too. I love to play covers. I just, yeah, I'll have to read up on that and see what's possible. I'll check if Rush is a blocker or whatever. Haha, yes, we're flying. Alright, drink time, drink time, drink time. What track shall I put? Alright, this one is called Feel For You. What's up, everybody? That was, what was it? That was Feel For You, then it was Cactus Dance. This is Cactus Dance, actually. Named by Ellie, thank you for the name. And Cactus Dance is up on, let me see, make sure I say that right. It is. It's up on this link right here. I'm going to send it to y'all again. If you want to support the channel, this is the way to do it. And definitely hit 4K if you got it. Get some crispy shots right now. I feel like it might get clear enough to zoom in. Oh, hell yeah, I know, Corey, you did. Added some new stuff there just recently. I'm trying to do let me see how many I actually added. I'm trying to do one a day. Was it 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new tracks? You definitely have 2 of them, so there are 8 new ones for you. Man, I feel like I tuned and slightly sharp on all these tracks. Either I'm sharp or all my tracks are, but that's what happens. That's just fine. See, I'm gonna find a jam track to solo to. Let's see. Jam track, backing. All right. Boom. All right. Just a little blues jam, hanging out with our moon right here. Still cloudy as hell, but I don't know, better than nothing. I've been really jonesing to do some space. Man, is the camera heating up? That's a first. That's the A6 that rarely overheats. I don't know, I guess it's very humid right now. Yo, thanks, Ellie. get in on some Tico while it's clear. Boom. Magic. It's truly magic to get such a view so simply after all the time spent getting it right. It seems ever so simple. I remember back when I first started, I was like, how do you get it clear? What's the deal? Like, why can't you get a good shot? Somebody give me love. Everybody says they know the way. Alright, let me just fix this 1 second. They know the way to the top, but I haven't seen one not fall. And so don't give me a secret. Everybody says he's got the way to ride up high and tell you how to feel. Don't sell me no spiel. Come on, everybody feels. Come on, everybody tears. Everybody hears the warm ways. Better not today. Better not today. You and I today must find a way. Cool bird shot just came through. That's probably power. So boys and girls, that's power. That's power. Boys and girls run around. You know that's power. That's power. Some cows in Florida too. Now that's power, power to heal, power to see, power to heal, power to see. Things I'm not holding down, and I try to get away. You hold the space. That's power, boys and girls, that's power. That's power, oh yeah. This nuking stuff is cray-cray. No Musk, nuking stuff is cray. No Musk, nuking stuff is cray, cray. No Musk, no Musk. No Fusk, no Musk. It's an Elon way. It's the Elon way. Just complain of the Elon way. That's the Elon way. It's space junk central. Damn, look at that. All right. Hopefully it won't heat up too badly. It's the Elon way. Tycho finally, the Musa friend is hanging out tonight. It's Tycho finally, look like Jet 3. Guess it's the chat room song. It's the chat room song. It's, am I actually playing? Oh yeah. I'm actually playing. It's the chat room song, so give me a line. It's the chat room song, throw me a line. It's the chat room song, we may get to be in my lyric sheet. It's the moonlight's bitchin' like my blown up kitchen, and the honey don't play cray cray, and now my homie don't play cray cray. It's the chat room songs. That's the chat room song. It's been a while since I've done this for y'all. The chat room song. I'll have to check that out for you after the show. Just drop me a link, you know. I'll have to check that after the show. This is my way of connecting with you. It's interactive TV, it's live space, it's taking back shit from the government, it's everything you want it to be. And it's the chat room song. I'll play it again and again and again until you throw me a line. Oh, it's the chat room song. My homie done play. And that's when it comes. So loving. And that's when she falls from the stars for me. Yo, Shopper, take it easy. It's nice to have you here tonight, and I'll catch you soon, my man. I'm gonna have to watch that video again. well, my chocolate milk is done, so there's 2 joints. Yeah, alright, sweet. Have a good dream when you pull out your arms and break into my head. You're feeling so strong, but you don't know like a rose. second it was really hot. It got cooking all of a sudden. So I switched up the lens on the scope. Got this nice wide shot coming in. This still has the focal reducer, but I was using the extender tube earlier. That's what I've been doing with the 11. Actually, all the scopes, I've been using that little extender tube from the doubler to basically get a much wider shot out of each of the scopes. Look at that. Hazy as it may be. I got some nice detail around Mare Crisium. That last track, yep, The Sky Don't Lie. It's been in the playlist for a couple of years, yeah, but I dig it too. Somehow, just there's certain tracks like that and Formidable Opponent and Catch like have a certain type of vibe to them. I think every song, kind of when you record it, has a certain feel and atmosphere, and those capture it really well. Like I never had to change that mix at all since I made it. Also, Corey, I saw the video of your daughter. Is that your daughter fishing? Very, very cool. Hell yeah, Starlight Spectrum, thank you. I appreciate that. No, you didn't tell me, Corey. How'd you find the channel? A lot of people came here through like Secure Team, and some came through Crow back in the day. But it's interesting to see how many, that there are like 12,000 subscribers now. And that pretty much it's like a regular stream of about 30 people. And I feel like the numbers on YouTube are ever so strange. You get kind of basically a 10% margin. It feels like if there are 40 thumbs up, there are 400 views on the video. And I wonder if it's really actually 400 people, or if it's just 40, or like 45. Very interesting. I see a lot of channels coming up right now, like music channels hitting like the 1 million subscriber mark. And I wonder how much work that really is, like to keep up with everybody. It seems like a full-time job. And I don't know, I think about it with TakeBackSpace, but I feel like this is pretty cozy. It's cool, everybody gets to talk, and it's not like, it's not overbearing in the chat room, I feel. Oh, hell yeah, Outdoor Corey. I seem to remember that you said Secure Team at one point, maybe when you first showed up. But yeah, like, it's interesting because in all honesty, I'm not like a super big supporter of the secure team. Like, he's a cool dude, but the channel is like really a little bit difficult for me because, I don't know. I mean, I say UFO sometimes here and there, but I definitely have moved away from the fact that, you know, the idea of there being aliens for sure. I think I've said that before, but I feel like it's really tough to kind of have a dialogue when footage is interpreted any which way it wants to be. And I think, yeah, that's sort of what happens, but it's a huge channel. It's kind of amazing how people really get into it. How long were you subscribed to it, to Secure Team? I know a lot of people showed up through that one video, but it was a crazy video. Like, for me, it just seemed like I always leave room for UFOs to be just unidentified flying objects or satellites or meteors or asteroids. Like, I think it is what it is. If you can't really see it and make it out, then it's a UFO. But anyway, that's sort of what the deal is with Secure Team. So that video kind of was one of those things that just showed up on Secure Team, and then people were telling me like, did you see that your video is on Secure Team? And so it was kind of this roundabout way where like it was presented that I kind of sent it to Tyler, but I actually didn't. I'm kind of really shy about my videos. I don't really push them on people. I suggest them to people to watch, but I don't really like, I don't know. I'm not really an evangelist with my videos. Like, if you want to come watch them, please do. Otherwise, you know, it's all good. I feel like natural, like people really wanting to be here is what's important. Retention. So, in that light, also, I want to thank all my peeps and you guys, of course, for hanging out on these really long streams. Like, some of you hang out for like 3-4 hours with me. I can see it, and it's crazy. Like, that's just an amazing type of interaction that really is unheard of in past forms of entertainment, you know? Like, sometimes you go to a concert that's like 4 hours, but are you really sitting there engaging the artist or the medium in that way? Did he ask permission? He ultimately asked permission for another video. I swear, unless I completely missed it, the Jupiter Exchange just showed up on Secure Team, and it had like 200,000 views, and somebody told me, it was like, did you see, like, oh, then I saw an influx of people come to TakeBackSpace. I was like, holy shit, like, I got 2,000 subscribers. It's the same thing that happened when Crow, basically, I had like 2,000 subscribers. I think it was 2016, like January 2016, I just like broken 2,000. I thought it was super cool, or like 1,700 subscribers. And Crow came and saw the Venus transit that I had. And the Venus transit, it was a daytime moon, and Venus like is right next to the moon. You can see everything, blue skies, Venus. It goes up to the moon, goes behind the moon, and then I catch it later coming out from behind the moon on the other side. And so Crow, I think, shared that with his subscribers, and I got a whole influx of people. And the second time was this Jupiter video. Anyway, he ultimately ended up asking me about using, what was it? I think it was another video. Maybe it was a lunar wave, or it was like the mothership one that looks like the balloons, the ET one. Like the one where I'm like, what is this video? It could have been that one, and I said no, because I'm kind of like, I don't know, I want the stuff to be open to interpretation, and that's really all it is. It's just like Secure Team adds a narrative to video, and I want TakeBackSpace to be videos where like I'll talk about it, and of course I'm definitely biased towards Electric Universe to some degree, but I'm open to everything if that's the way it has to be, you know? And I feel like alien channels, ufology channels, are really intent on defining these events as extraterrestrial or whatever cover-up stuff. And while they could be that, maybe they're just natural electrical phenomenon or plasma phenomenon or things that happen in nature. I'll give you a perfect example, which is when I was really deep into ufology. I don't know, before I started scoping, basically. It's in 2012, 2013. I was watching Suspicious Observers all the time. I was watching all the disclosure stuff. And I used to look up at at the horizon and see Jupiter. I didn't know it was Jupiter, but it was Jupiter, and it was glowing so brightly. And everybody was taking pictures of it and calling it like an incoming asteroid or an incoming Planet 9. It was like the whole Nibiru thing. And I was looking at it, taking the same pictures and thinking it was this. I was sure it's like are people not understanding? It's coming so close. And like, am I crazy? It's so bright. And I had no idea that, you know, the entire astronomy community knew that it was Jupiter. They were taking pictures of it all the time. The same way I do now when I take pictures of Jupiter and people come by, they're like, holy shit, what is that really bright star next to the moon? I'm like, that's the planet Jupiter. It's like super duper bright in the sky. And you know, stuff like that, I was so certain it was UFOs or in Planet X or that I feel so, not silly now, but just I'm glad that I learned that certain things actually can be seen, certain things can be understood. It's not all like big question marks and like, what the hell is that? I have no idea. Like, people know a lot of astronomical, cosmological events and features and objects in the sky. Like, there's a ton of data out there. So yeah, anyway, that's a prime example. So he ended up asking for another clip, and I said, you know, if you don't mind, I hope you don't use this clip, because anyway, I recommend, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like to be stingy with my work, but I don't want it to be misinterpreted either, if possible. So that's a little bit about Secure Team and growing this channel. Yeah, so Secure Team I think got like 2,000 subs. Crow probably got me about 2,000 subs. And then there was a whole year where, like, I had surgery and for my leg from telescope work, like hernia surgery, and then the channel got shut down for 3 months because of a lunar wave video complaint. When Crow's channel got shut down, I got like a complaint on one of the lunar wave videos, and they blocked me from streaming for 3 months. And yeah, and so the subscriber count kind of stuck around like 10,000 for a while until I started doing streams recently. It's just very interesting. I wonder if there are really 12,000 people that follow this channel, or it's really about 100 or 200. I'm very curious about the numbers on YouTube. It's YouTube. NibiruTube. Yeah, Nibiru will be here any day now. Mushroom Stamp, I know. Pretty funny. Jupes is the boss. It seems like Jupes is the boss, and Saturn too. So I'm on my front setup. I don't have access to Saturn and Jupiter, and even so, it's probably too hazy to even see them. But this is definitely a fun one. It's already Sunday. I'm talking a lot. I'm just trying to go through the chat a little bit. Did I miss any comments? So you found me, okay, thanks for all the original music. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. Bomdia says, I think this stream was suggested by YouTube due to my astro search interest. That's awesome. That's natural, organic growth. Sky Community. Corey says, I'm funny, I'm sub to you and not Secure Team anymore. His channel has gone to shit and not consistent anymore. Interesting. I think that happened to, what was his name? Dark Skywatcher. Remember that dude? I think he's still around probably. He had some really crazy tech and had kind of done it for a long time, but people were pretty pissed at Dark Skywatcher for a while. I haven't actually looked him up in a bit. Let's see. Starlight says, I love the environment here. It's relaxed and tranquil. Thank you. I love that. I'll try and spread that because we have so much stress anyway, and cable news and music nowadays is just so toxic, to me at least. And so I try and get on here and provide something that I would like to go to and hang out to. If I saw a stream that was just super chill and especially had like science stuff going on and good audio. People don't really understand the value of really great audio, I think. Or I think they do, but they don't really believe in themselves or feel like they can do something special. But I feel like excellent audio, cool vibes, like audio that doesn't, you know, annoy you or aggravate you or just too up-tempo or doesn't match what you're watching, can ruin an entire channel or video. And I see it all the time. Corey says, yeah, for me it's the tunes, the telescope is the bonus, telescope and view is the bonus. I appreciate that. For me, it's a good mix of all of it. You know, like I don't go live if I don't have a good view, and that keeps me honest and like true to the channel, which is really what I wanted to do. I wanted space. I didn't want a personality channel. I wanted just like a cool, like the Fallout radio in the desert, God voice, and like the sickest astro views possible. And then the writing, like writing the music was just like this crazy thing that happened because I was like, oh, let me try and write some crazy space tunes to go along with my show. And when I did, and I thought like, oh, I'll imagine myself in a game listening to a radio station, like what would I want to hear if I were in a wasteland listening to a radio. I started writing all these tunes, and that's a lot of what you hear. And then I got better at writing, and I think I evolved my writing style. Now I write all sorts of things, some for fun, some for jams, a lot for you guys for the show. I feel like I see what people like when you tell me which songs to repeat, or people remember a title of a song. That's important because, like, man, there's so much content out there. If somebody remembers my little song, like by name, like that's crazy. So, Starlight says I need to request time off work the day of Mercury transit in November. That's 11/11, I think, which is also some numerology going on. And yeah, definitely, I'm looking into trying to get up my solar gear, but I don't know if I want to drop $1,600 on one of those calcium K filters, but maybe. Corey says yes, he has a narrative. The Tyler thing, yeah, secure team. I mean, the narrative is basically look at all this amazing astro footage. Isn't it cool if it were aliens? But he says like it is aliens, you know. So it's a bit tricky. I mean, I know people are free to do whatever they want because it's entertainment, but at the same time, if you're using actual footage and saying it's something else, that really, like, I'll give you another example. Like, there's a whole flat Earth video with from Ashley something where they take a picture of Venus and they defocus it, and it looks like, you know, the kind of, I don't know, it looks distorted and it looks like the defocused stars that I sometimes do. But then right next to it is a title that says something else entirely, like space is alive, or bacteria or something like that. And you know, it really sends the wrong message, you know, because people don't want to read much further, or maybe they don't even want to watch the video, and they just see these pictures of actual space, but kind of manipulated a little bit or warped a little bit with some sort of clickbait title next to it. And I don't think people really mean to do that, to hurt people or to manipulate people, but I think it's just meant to sell. But I still think it's harmful, you know, like even if it's meant to sell, it's still not good for thinking and for being outside, you know. There's just too much of that for me, personally. So Nibiru hasn't, that's supposed to have hit us or flown by 7 times now, says Corey. Exactly, right? We're laughing about that because it's probably like shockwave, or the plasma theory is like Jupiter's Nibiru, which is much more likely. 24/7 says, 24/7 Live Arizona Sky says, the human body is made up of more than 60% water. Think the moon pushes and pulls us internally? Damn right it does. I agree with that, that's for sure. Not to mention the blood is red because it's ferric, it's full of iron, and you betcha that the iron in our blood is magnetic as well. Starlight says, Jupiter is beautiful. Indeed it is. Yes. Audio-visual combo is the key. That's why I'm drawn away from a lot of movies, horror specifically. It's like the other thing that's happening in movie trailers, that kind of clanging, that ba 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 ba. They do that clanging sound like jail doors shutting, or like, it's just really aggressive. It's almost impossible to watch any movie trailers or even movies nowadays because they resort to such interesting, cliched audio tropes, or it's just methodology. It's not really anybody's fault. It's just like everyone's trying to get good, and so they copy what they think is good because what sells a lot is said to be good, but it's not always the case. And very often it's actually not the opposite. It's like, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. But since the media controls the message, anything that's popular is immediately good. I'll give you an example, like Ed Sheeran, or is that his name? The guy who did one of these big songs, just because he had one hugely popular song, that then he became, they put him on Game of Thrones, now he does his own talk show, then his opinion about clothes matters, then he's going to release a line of sportswear. It's, like, that's ridiculous. But that happens all the time. So there's kind of false justification of appeal that only a wary consumer is able to traverse the landscape that we find ourselves in. Also, 50 years of Woodstock. I actually went to Woodstock 99, which is kind of crazy. And that was a little propaganda from MTV too, because the whole thing was really kind of amazing. And I'll talk a little bit actually about Woodstock 99. That's pretty awesome. It was really intense, and I got to see a lot of incredible bands. And all this shit that happened on TV happened like Sunday night. After we were there Friday, Saturday, we were there actually Thursday, up in, I think it was, I want to say which Air Force, it was an Air Force base. It wasn't actually where the original Woodstock was held. It was a different place, but, so anyway, got up there with some friends and had some J's hidden inside some soap bars and had just enough super psychedelic mushrooms for, I think it was just enough for 4 people for 2 nights. We were really broke at the time. The tickets were super expensive. And so we got up there, and the highlights for me, I think, there was like a mudslide under the campsite. That was really intense, and everybody was tripping. I saw Metallica at 2 in the morning do Master of Puppets with like 100,000 people screaming the lyrics. I saw P-Funk getting stoned. It was George Clinton's 50th birthday, I think, and he was doing, that was early in the morning. It was a crazy show. And then Dave Matthews Band was kind of amazing. I saw, I think Live played, which was awesome. If you guys remember Live. Trying to think, what else? So at the end of, so Sunday afternoon, I think I saw Al Green actually played. That was awesome. It was, okay, the downside to Woodstock 99 was really $10 bottles of small water. Small water was like freaking $10 fucking dollars. And they were out of water pretty much on Saturday, which is insane, so they had to bring in new water. And the food was pretty awful. So I think people really got pissed off because the prices were so high and they were just, hungover. And so like Sunday, it started to rain around, I want to say lunchtime. And so we watched, what did we watch? We saw, I want to say we even saw the beginning of Red Hot Chili Peppers. This happened, like literally all the fires and the shit that people talk about is literally happened at the end of the set that we started to watch. We started to watch Red Hot Chili Peppers and it started to rain. And so we're like, fuck it, we're gonna try and get out of here early. Me and 3 friends, and we hit the road, and then we heard nothing, Then we got back to New York, and then I saw all the shit happening on MTV, and I was like, what the hell is all that about? So for me, it was kind of mostly a positive experience, even though it got really cooked. Toasting red. I think another really sick experience was tripping on mushrooms, watching Train Spotting for the first time in an airplane hangar. I mean, that was just nuts. I'd never seen anything like that. I'm trying to think what other bands stood out. I saw Bush, I saw Dave Matthews. I think really the Metallica show just really stood out to me. I'm trying to think what other hard rock bands, but I think we were just too cooked, man. It was so damn hot. It was like 110 degrees. and we're just trying to get by. So that's my little, I'm not a millennial obviously, but I think the whole, like, I was listening to Crosby sing Woodstock by Joni Mitchell. David Crosby is still around, kicking it. And you hear the kind of vibe that they had for Woodstock 69, and it was just a completely different thing to Woodstock 99, which was, while they were some really great bands at their prime, it wasn't that same kind, it was very, very much more commercialized. So I understand why people got pissed off, but and I definitely don't endorse the violence, but got a lot bad rap, that's all I gotta say. Dave Matthews Band, I want to say that I saw them again, but I think that was the one time I actually got to see them. I had tickets and then I didn't go on the next time. I had to sell those tickets because couldn't get to it. Hey, what's up, Zorro? Did you throw mud at Green Day? Oh man, I skipped Green Day for sure. I think we were just trying to get food during the acts that we didn't want, and it was so far, and it was so hot that we just kind of ended up like sitting at the airplane hangars watching. I remember watching a lot of movies on Friday, and then Saturday I remember seeing like I said, Live, Bush, Metallica, Dave Matthews Band, Parliament Funkadelic, Al Green, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Those are the bands that I remember. I know there are a couple more that I'm totally spacing on, but it was cool. I really liked the band Live, and Red Hot Chili Peppers were amazing. Did I throw mud at Green Day though? That's funny. They, at the time I still didn't despise the kind of pop that they turned into. At the time I thought it was like, oh, they're interesting. They're playing their thing. Definitely seen Metallica a bunch of times. If we're talking about shows, man, I've seen a lot of good bands. I've seen, the best show that I've ever seen probably was Iron Maiden on the Power Slave tour, it's not the Power Slave tour, it's the one where they did Power Slave recently, like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago maybe, Madison Square Garden, and the power goes out during Power Slave at Madison Square Garden, and I'm in the pit, and there are a whole bunch of bikers next to me just like token up like crazy, so I had nothing on me. They were just like, Madison Square Garden is crazy tight security, so no bud. But thankfully the guys next to me were just like ripping it, so the whole time we were ripping it, and Power Slave, they're playing Power Slave, power goes out in Madison Square Garden, and Bruce and Steve pull out a soccer ball, and start playing, or football to them. Yeah, not soccer, American. Yeah, so football, and they're playing football on stage, or soccer, and the power comes back on, and then they redo Power Slave. That was fucking amazing. That was definitely like up there. And I saw the big four, so Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and was it Anthrax, I think? Could have been Anthrax. That was a great show. That was at Yankee Stadium. Let's see. Corey says, my favorite bands are CCR, Creedence Clearwater, love Creedence, Steppenwolf is amazing, Doobie Brothers, definitely, George Thorogood. I like George Thorogood, but I'm not as familiar. Like, I don't know if I've ever done a deep dive on heavier side. Metallica, of course, Queensrÿche, Alice in Chains. You knew Lane Staley, that's crazy. Yeah, Alice in Chains was fucking unbelievable band. Miguel, take it easy, my man. Have a good night. Same here, y'all. I think I'm starting to crash, coming up on 2 hours. It's been a fun stream tonight, talking about music, jamming a bit. Moon's fading for me. That's the top of my window, telling me to chill out. Wait, where am I from? No, I'm from New York originally. I like Canada though. Canada. All right, everybody. I'll try and catch up with you tomorrow, maybe, if it's clear. If not, some night this week when the moon is on the wane. Appreciate all the kind words and cool comments, and hope you have a great day tomorrow. Bom dia, Starlight Spectrum, Miguel, Zorro, Corey, somebody, somewhere. Mushroom Stamp, 24/7 Live AZ Skies, Ellie Wynn, Big Hearts. Everybody else checking this out tomorrow, stay wise, stay calm and cool, and share some love with everybody. Be kind.